Welcome back, Bazigars. Previously, we learned what bluffing is and the types of bluffs a poker player can make on the table. Today, we will learn about the factors we should consider before making a bluff. When we consider these points and take our decisions to bluff or not to bluff based on them, we increase the chances of our bluff succeeding. Not just that, considering these factors also stops us from getting in the bad habit of bluffing for no reasons at all. As we know, poker is a game of informed decision making, and we can take better decisions only when we play in a strategic manner, even if the decision we are making is to bluff. Let's jump right into it then. To begin with, the first factor we must consider is position. When you have the opportunity to bluff, the first question you need to ask yourself is whether you are in position or out of position. As explained in our earlier chapter on positions, if you are in late position and your opponent is in early position, you are considered to be in position. Here, your bluff has a higher chance of working as you will get to decide whether to bluff or not after seeing what they do. Let's say you have King 10 and the flop is Jack 3 5, which only gives you a high card. Your opponent checks the flop. Here you can easily raise as a bluff and win all the chips in the middle a majority of the time. We could succeed in making a bluff here because we get to act after our opponent and we can see what their action is before deciding on whether to bluff or not. If they check, we bluff. If they bet, we can choose to fold. Now it will make things much more difficult for us if we had to take our action before them. So position plays a big part here. The next factor to consider is player habits. We should always pay attention on the poker table and observe the playing habits of our opponents before bluffing them. If our opponent in a particular hand is a player who only plays very few hands, we know that they are more likely to fold a hand when they are unable to make a strong combination with the community cards. Players like these can easily be bluffed by making a big bet on a board that has small or medium cards. On the other hand, if we are faced by an opponent who rarely folds and keeps calling our bets till the river, even with not so strong hands, it will be a waste of effort to try and bluff them. Let me also make you familiar with two important terms of poker, which are tight player and loose player. The players who play very cautiously and only high-end cards like pairs, suited connectors and Broadway cards like 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace are called tight players. On the other hand, players who play any two cards irrespective of their strength are known as loose players in poker. This is a good starting point to note. We will be learning about other players' habits and how to use that information in our future lessons. Which brings us to factor number 3 to be considered for bluffing, which is board texture. Now, board texture refers to the kind of cards that have opened in the middle of the table, also known as the community cards. Sometimes these cards connect with each other in a certain manner, which makes it easier for a good player to take advantage of and bluff their opponent easily. For example, say you are on the dealer position of a 5-10 stakes table, where you are dealt 9-10, middle position player raises to 30 and you call. Rest of the players fold. The flop is 4 of clubs, 3 of spades, 6 of hearts. Here the likelihood of your opponent having connected with the board is very less. And also his action will help you understand if he has any possible chance of improving here. Say he checks and you bet 35. Here you have put him to a difficult decision because the chances of you having connected with the board are high, which you are also conveying through the bet you made. So you will be easily able to make him fold any two big cards. Similarly, it's easier to bluff if your opponent checks when the board is 3 of clubs, 4 of clubs, 5 of hearts, 6 of diamonds, 8 of spades, where it's possible to make a straight with a single card 2 or 7, or say the board is 4 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds, 8 of diamonds, 9 of clubs, Jack of diamonds, where it's possible to make a flush with a single card of diamonds. Remember, we haven't mentioned your cards here because when it's a pure bluff that you are making, it does not matter what cards you are holding. Last but not the least, we also need to consider how many chips are in the middle and would your bluff make your opponent fold. For example, irrespective of the cards you have, let's say you have 1000 chips and your opponent only has 100 chips. You bet 90 on flop and the opponent calls. Now, since 90% of your opponent's chips have been put in the middle on the flop, it's unlikely that your opponent will fold to even all in on later stages. So it makes no sense to bluff there. Your best chance of winning this hand will be by making a strong combination and not by bluffing. And that's about it. Always think about position, player habits, and the stack sizes before making a bluff, and you will find your success rate increasing. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.